there is a certain sense of awe that comes over one as they approach realms that scare you. This is one of them for me. As I was reading about Sefer Yetzirah and the letters, because the letters are a very big deal in Jewish meditation, came upon a phrase which I had known, but, been reading for 40 years, you forget. The two separated letters in Judaism are the Kuf and the Hey. The Kuf and the Hey are the two letters that are separated. All other letters are connected in Judaism, in the Hebrew alphabet. And so the Kuf is separated and the Hey. All the others are like, Vav is straight and Kaf is straight, Aleph is together. But this is separated. Now, these two letters together come out to be 105. 105 was the number, my official number of what I was in the world. I always thought I was 101, you see, because I saw it as 101, but I was really 105. So again, why was I 105? It's because I was part of, to reveal 40 years later, the two separated letters. And to live in these two separated letters, within them. The Kaf is made up of a Resh and then a Zayin. And that Zayin goes below the line. The Kaf is the only letter not of the final letters that goes below the line, goes into the Sitra Akra, to the depths and to the roots. That's why it's not a surprise that the letter Kaf is the first letter of the word Kayan. And so this Kayan goes below the line. And the Resh is its crown, so to speak. And then you know how the Kuf is written. Taken on its own, the Resh is therefore 200 in the Resh. I mean, the Kuf is 200 in the Resh and 7 in the Zayin. So that's 207. 207 is Ein Sof, and it's also Or. 207 is also Raz, secret, and it's also Zir, which means crown. And it is the crown. The Resh is the crown of the Zayin. And the Resh means head, and the Zayin means spine. And as you see it, it also means back of the head, because you see how the head's rounded there? It's the back of the head on the spine. So it relates also, in a certain sense, to the Dalet. And that Dalet is another letter, because the other letter is Hey. The letter Hey is the other separated letter. Now the letter Hey can be written Hey Yud and Hey Dalet. Hey Dalet Yud or Dalet Vav. We're writing it Dalet Vav because it has to do with the Yud, actually. So as Dalet Vav, we now have a Hey, the other separated letter, which means 5, but it's also, here's the real secret, because what I'm trying to do here is show the archetype of brothers. Hey is the first letter of Hevel. So Cain and Hevel, the two first children, are separated letters. The only two separated letters are their Kedusha letters. And this Dalet and Vav come out to be 10. That 10 becomes a Yud, and that Yud goes in with the 207 and makes 217, which is the pronounced spelling of Zir. Actually, a beautiful thing I'm going to give you here with this Zir, I'm going to give you, if you take the Resh is 200, and if you add the Zion in its full is 67, you get 267, which is Nazir, which again. There's some other things I want to show here. See, I think this archetype of brothers is, you see how the letters are separated. So when Cain says to Hashem, am I my brother's keeper? See, they're separated. These are two, you see, he's keeper, you see a togetherness of this. And in the final analysis, it's not that he isn't, he wasn't. He wasn't his brother's keeper. And the real secret is, he's not. Let me give some other real great things here. In the spelling of the letter Hey, we have Hey as Dalet, it's 434, and Vav is 12 in full. It's 446, and that's death, Mavet. So in that letter Hey itself is the Mavet of Hevel. And it's strange that same original Hevel letter of the Hey comes in to Avraham. You see? The life aspect of the Avraham, giving life to the Jewish people, comes from the death of Hevel. And it must have occurred. See? And how everything must occur a certain way. I have another beautiful thing here, in that the dinim letters of these words, let me show the dinim letters here. The dinim letters of these names of Hevel and Cain. Well, let me just read this out now, the dinim letters. The dinim letters of Cain are Yud Nun. Yud is 20, Nun is 126. These are dinim in full. Okay? Dinim in full, 126, and then Hevel is Bet, the dinim letters, Bet, Lamed. Bet is 412, and Lamed is 74. That's 486. So 486 and 112 is 612. And that's bris. So the bris is found in the dinim letters of Hevel and Cain. This whole idea of the circumcision, which comes in from the hay, the cutting, which is the cutting means the cutting off from. And that's again the separation in the hay. The only letter that's separated is the hay. It's the cutting off from. And the letter of the kuf is the real secret of the Nazir, the crown of the Nazir, and that's a cutting off from society. And this bris, strangely enough, in mysticism, Rabba Bara Gavra, like an abracadabra, also comes out to be 612. Bet Resh Bet Aleph, that's Rabba. That's the Rabbah from the Talmud. Bara, Bet Resh Aleph. Gavra. Gimel Bet Resh Aleph. Abba Bara Rava. 612. 612 can also be, as you know, +1 for all the total bones and sinews in the body and the mitzvot. But this is how one creates a man, and this I'm going to be continuing this with Rabba Bara Gavra. Gavra. That's how one creates a man. And this is how the real aspect, I'm going to give this deep because nobody listens this late into video. And then I'm going to expound on this. This is how the real concept of Poru, Orvu, Priya and Virivia, be fruitful and multiply, how that can be a mental process and may not mean children. I'm going to be expanding on that. And so, in a certain sense, if you do the resh with a yud in it, which is the resh with a yud in it, is the seed. See, when you spell resh, I spell resh usually resh shin, but if it's resh yud shin, that's 510. Plus Zion, 67, that's 577, plus 6 letters, that's 583, plus 2 words, 2 terms, Resh and Zion, and plus 1 for all, it comes out to be 586. So the kuf itself could be 586. 586, of course, is shofar, but it's also what's little known and little expressed. It's yesod, fully spelt out. So we're dealing in yesod here when we're dealing in kayan. And when we're dealing in the kuf. When we're dealing in the 100. And 100, by the way, is the final mem with a samek inside. And that's actually the squaring of the circle. Again, this is the archetype of brothers. So for a while, let me see what else I just wanted to. That's what I wanted to show. So it's letter meditation on the, may I suggest the kuf first, and then the hey, because kayin comes first, and then hevel. Let's see. And the two of them make up 105. And if you really want to know, it could be plus one for all. It's the kav is 106, which is the ultimate phallus or umbilicus, to tell you the truth. But the yeah, that's all I want to give right now. About the kuf. Remember kuf, letter kuf itself, fully spelled out, is 186, which is, of course, makum, it's yud-ke vav-ke. But kayin in itself, fully spelled out, is 160. And 160's miraculous correspondence is to the zelem, you see. So I've always thought, and I know, that kayin represents and is a representative of the zelem here. And the zelem has to do, I have this other stuff with Nazir. Kayin was a Nazir. And in my family relationships, I'm related to Kayin. My brother was related to Hevel, the shortness of breath. And these are deep mysteries. The 186 is related to Yud Hey Vav Hey when you square each of those. And this is just an opening for further meditations about the archetype of brothers found in the letters.